Hello and welcome to 3-part breath. So this is one of my favourite breath practices that I'm always coming back to and always teaching to clients of mine because it's a beautifully simple but very effective breath practice for helping us really learn how expansive our chest is and how much space we have within our chest to breathe and to use. To get us started, come to a seated position. You can be seated in a chair or you can be seated in just simple seated position, cross-legged position. So you don't want to be leaning back on anything. If you can, just be naturally supporting yourself. You can see me as I'm wiggling. That's me naturally. I do it every time I sit down. I automatically go to ground myself. So often I come and sit down like this and then I just start to ground myself and I start to automatically root to rise. So close the eyes and we'll do that very briefly. So just bring your awareness to your sit bones, start to root down so that you can take advantage of that energetic lift and help to create a light and lifted and active upper body that will really support breathing. Just open the chest, bring your awareness to your sternum, your breastbone, gently lift. Relax the jaw, relax the face, relax the arms. And just slowly turn your awareness to your breath. Just notice for a moment how your breath feels in this moment. Notice where you're sensing the breath. This might be the first time you've ever thought about that, so this might feel quite abstract. There's no right or wrong. Just notice whether the breath feels in the middle of the chest, the upper, the lower, or even the neck, so up in the throat, back of the throat, round the nostrils. And notice if the breath feels light or heavy, staggered, stuck. And this will change throughout the day and it will reflect as well a lot of your emotional state. So if you've been running around, if you've been busy, then of course the breath is going to be higher up. If you're super chilled, relaxed, then you're going to have a lovely, slow, or more regular and consistent, rather, deeper breath. So just notice without judgment. And then what I want you to do is just bring your fingertips of one hand onto your diaphragm. And if you're not sure where I mean, just flick your eyes open and take a look. Using your hands as a reference point is really powerful to help draw the breath to where your hands are. So it's like almost creates a memory. So just bring your fingertips and rest them on your diaphragm. And what you're going to do is you're going to imagine, visualize, and actually draw the breath in, down through the chest and down deep into the chest, so that you are starting more of a diaphragmatic breath. So if you visualize, imagine a band extending from your diaphragm all the way to your spine. And if you visualize a color as well, that can often help. So you're drawing in a breath that is a color, drawing it down through the chest and then expanding in that area from the diaphragm round to the back of the spine. And just come to your breath and really focus in on that part of the body. The breath doesn't need to be harsh, it doesn't need to be heavy, it doesn't need to be extreme. You can do a lot with a little, so the breath can be gentle. But a gentle breath can also be a very expansive breath. Moving the breath through the chest down to a deeper breath. Very efficient way to breathe. really good for oxygenating the body, because a very, very efficient gas exchange takes place in the lower part of the chest. Also massaging out the organs of the core, the movement of the diaphragm, the inflating, the deflating, the contracting, the relaxing. That movement is helping to massage the lymphatic system, the organs of the core. By visualizing the back as well, so extending that band all the way round to the spine, helps to bring our awareness into the back body as well, which we often forget when we come to our breath. Just slow, gentle inhales and exhales. And just notice if the diaphragm is rising and falling with your breath. It might only be subtle. Maybe that you're not used to breathing in this part of the chest. Don't worry. If there's nothing there at all, don't worry. The visualizing is going to really help. The reference to the fingertips on your diaphragm is going to really help, and practice as well. This may be the first time that you've dipped into a practice like this. Just check back into the body, grounding down through the sit bones, keeping the upper body light and active, not compressing, so not drawing the shoulders in. Keep the chest open, keep the jaw relaxed. Inhaling through the nose as and where you can helps to detoxify. Also helps to control the amount of breath coming in. On the next exhale, just release the fingertips onto your knee, and this time we're going to come up to the thoracic, the middle part of the chest, which is where most of us tend to breathe most of the time. So just flick your eyes open briefly. I bring the sides of my hands onto my ribs. I find that more comfortable than like this, but do whatever feels good for you. And then close your eyes once again, relax the shoulders. And this time you're going to draw the breath in. You can visualize a different color if that helps. And visualize a band extending all the way around your thoracic. And just feel the breath expanding in this part of the chest. So almost blocking off the lower part of the chest now, and the upper, although of course the breath comes through the upper, but really just focusing on the middle part of the chest. And feel your ribs expanding against the back of your hands. This might well feel most natural to you and most easy. Just notice and observe that. Couple more breaths here. And then on the next exhale, release your hands. And this time we're going to focus on the upper breath, which can actually, on cue, like demand on cue, be quite a hard breath to do, because you suddenly realize how intense and sort of shallow it has to be, but give it a go. So if you just flick your eyes open, you're going to bring your fingertips to just beneath your shoulder, your collarbones. Close the eyes and just see if you can expand the breath just in the upper body. So it's good for a couple of things. One, because you notice it's actually quite hard to do a shallow breath, but also to notice that there is still an expanse up here. So we're working on noticing the 3 parts of the chest. And each time we are managing to effectively breathe, albeit somewhat limited in the upper chest, but nevertheless we are able to breathe. So just think how the breath would feel and will feel once you free yourself up to breathe and free the breath within the full capacity of the chest. For now, you're focusing on the upper chest, and just notice the shallow nature of the breath. And bring awareness to the back body as well. As I mentioned earlier, we often think about the front body and our lungs being in the front part of the chest, but of course they extend all the way round. Couple more breaths here. And then on the next exhale, release the breath. And this time, you're just going to come back to your breath and just experience the expansive nature of the breath when it's not constrained, when you have the full capacity of the chest to use. So the breath can be natural, it can be light. The breath can be an equal inhale and exhale if that helps. But just enjoy the breath and just notice how expansive it feels. Now you're utilizing better the lower, the middle and the upper part of the chest, the front and back, the sides, the whole of the chest. You can bring back to visualization that ball of light, which I talked about in How to Breathe, the rays of light touching each part of the chest. It can be very liberating to experience this sensation. A light breath, but a light breath being a big breath. And just think what this expansive breath is doing for you within the body. Relaxing tension, oxygenating, massaging, detoxifying, soothing and calming and balancing. All at the same time. So we'll do 3 more breaths here. One final breath, inhaling and exhaling. And then with the eyes closed, just noticing again with curiosity, just noticing where the breath feels in the body and how the breath feels. And just notice any subtle changes between the start and the end of the practice. And notice more broadly how the body feels, how you feel in this moment. More relaxed, that ability to have stepped away from the noise, from wherever you were, preoccupied with a thought, with a to-do. Whatever it is, the breath will hopefully have brought you back to more of a place of grounding, of balance, and a place where you can now step out again with more perspective, because it just creates that buffer between thought, so you can just step back before sometimes reacting. So flicker the eyes open if they're not open already. Really hope you enjoyed dipping into 3-part breath. Thank you for joining, and I will see you soon.